For the longest time, bamboo has just been used for very basic cottages, bahay kubo here in the Philippines, and temporary structures. But I've been looking at it a lot differently the last 15 years. We've been able to build things like engineered bamboo bikes and trikes, and I just wanted to show you some of the new things that we're working on. So we've been mixing traditional bamboo style construction, but also doing engineered laminates. And what that has been enabled us to do is really start to innovate and create new shapes, designs, forms, and concepts. So here, for example, I've got these curves, and it's a solar-powered ice cream cart called Solbetes. Here, I've got a custom cargo bike order, and we've been developing this mini velo style, and you can see it's engineered bamboo here with a metal frame that bolts together. And basically, our design language has evolved over the years to incorporate more of this style, because round pole construction has a lot of challenges and limitations. Actually, initially all of our bike frames were built with round pole construction because that's how we were taught, and that's what was the easiest. You can see here, just in one of the stools, that kind of technique using the abaca fiber, which is like a hemp, and an epoxy to bind it together. But now, over the last decade, more or less, we've been refining our designs and starting to leverage the advantages of standardization so that we can work on reproducing bikes in a way that guarantees us the consistency, because producing handmade bikes is beautiful, but it's super challenging. I'll show you here just our fleet of frames. It's combination of whole pole construction and engineered laminates, and this is definitely still the most beautiful way to build the bikes, but it is also the most time consuming. It takes our team about 50 working hours to produce those kinds of frames. So we've been evolving our designs over the years to take advantage of this engineered laminating process which we've created, and we're able to produce things like fenders and these curves. And basically we can use the bamboo now like wood or other standardized building materials, which enables us to level up our creativity. Bambike over the years has been testing out tons of different geometries and styles, because we've been running Bambike Ecotours, which has given us the chance to get thousands of people riding our bikes every month. And we've been testing and tweaking and adjusting and bending and building and breaking things, and we're finally getting it dialed in. I think we've come up with a system, and we've been developing these prototypes that are thinking now towards scale. We want to be able to bring Bamb bikes out to the mainstream market, and that's not really possible with the handmade whole pole construction. The bolt together design and technique is enabling us to produce products consistently, and I think that's been our biggest challenge over the years. Is I've always wanted to just be creating something new and testing out different geometries, and that's still the case, and it's my constant struggle trying to figure out, how do we commercialize our products and how do we, bring them to the bigger market? Because, my ADHD and dyslexia makes me want to always be building something new, but the business side of this has to be really staying focused and creating something that can be more easily adopted, drop the price of production down. So our hope is that with this bolt together style construction, if we play our cards right and we find the right suppliers and partners and production engineers, this is all still work in progress. But if all of these things line up, we'll be able to bring you guys and the general market much more affordable bamboo bikes. And our goal at Bambike is to try and be a part of the, more inclusive mobility scene. We're working on pedicabs that also are wheelchair friendly. So I'll give you a sneak peek here. So imagine this pedicab has a roll-on ramp that can accommodate a wheelchair from the back. We'll save that for another video, but we're looking into how Bambike can be used as a tool for inclusive mobility and also developing green tourism. We're actually in the process of applying for a UNDP grant that's in partnerships with LGUs to try and bring green tourism to different municipalities in the Philippines. And we're hopeful and confident, fingers crossed, that our innovation in BAM business and manufacturing and the tourism will enable us to partner with different municipalities and LGUs or local government units around the Philippines to be able to get more people riding bikes, to help, take advantage of the bicycle infrastructure that's being built and to encourage more people to bike, because commuting in Metro Manila and across the Philippines can be quite challenging and expensive. And biking has in some ways really set me free in the sense that I don't feel dependent on a ride sharing app or a car or being limited to how you can get around. So with a bicycle, especially during the pandemic, this became evident. The use of the bicycle was actually imperative. We actually lent our bike fleet to medical first responders because they couldn't use public transportation during the pandemic. It was closed off. And we had a fleet of all of our bikes, about 50 or so BAM bikes were given out to hospitals, doctors, nurses, and medical frontliners so that they were able to use the bikes. And that's slowly tapered off, but that started a bunch of the municipalities here and cities putting in more bike lanes. And I've got another video coming up about how it is biking around Quezon City, and we'll dive into that later. But I think just getting more people to learn how to bike is an important thing, and our Bambino kids bike is going to help do that. We're going to be setting up Bambino parks and doing learn how to bike lessons. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts about how engineered bamboo, which enables us to get these consistent curves and beautiful shapes and geometries, is changing the game for us, and how our new construction techniques are making basically anything possible. If anything is possible with bamboo, if you haven't heard me talk about it yet already, I'm Bryan, and basically I believe anything and everything is possible with bamboo. So stay tuned. These projects are still in the works, but I'll share with you more and more how they're evolving and how we're using them and what else can be done. We want to push for more sustainable development and innovation. Sustainability is sovereignty, and more than ever, that's important. Renewable energy, renewable resources, clean and green living, that's what's up. So, yeah, thank you for hearing my Bam banter. Stay tuned for more. Bambuhay.